She laughed and said, "You really thought a girl like me would ever date a guy like you?" Her friends couldn't stop giggling. I smiled and replied, "Good. Then this is the last time you'll have to see me." Later that night, her best friend sent me a snap that made my hands go ice cold. "Dear friends, please subscribe to my channel. It's very important for my encouragement. Thank you. I'm 27, and up until 3 months ago, I thought I had my life figured out. I'd been with Cassidy for almost 4 years. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and honestly, I fell hard. She was magnetic, the kind of person who walks into a room and everyone notices. Me? I'm just a regular guy. I'd saved up a decent amount over the years. I wasn't rich, but I was comfortable. Cassidy worked part-time at a boutique downtown and always talked about starting her own fashion line someday. I supported that dream. I paid for most of our dates, covered rent when she was short, bought her the car she wanted for her birthday last year. A used BMW, but still. She cried when I gave her the keys. Told me I was the best thing that ever happened to her. Looking back now, I see how stupid I was. It started unraveling about 2 months ago. I'd noticed she was distant. Always on her phone, laughing at texts she wouldn't show me. When I asked who she was talking to, she'd say just the girls or work stuff. I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? We'd been together for years. Then came that Saturday night, June 17th. I remember the date because it was supposed to be our anniversary dinner. I'd made reservations at this upscale Italian place she'd been wanting to try. Cost me over $300 just for the deposit. I showed up at her apartment to pick her up at 7 p.m. sharp, wearing the suit she liked. She opened the door in sweats and a tank top. No makeup, hair in a messy bun. "Oh," she said, not even looking guilty. "I forgot to tell you. I'm going out with the girls tonight." Rain check. I stood there like an idiot, holding flowers. "Cassidy, we've had this reservation for 3 weeks. It's our anniversary." She rolled her eyes. "Babe, anniversaries are just capitalist constructs anyway. We can celebrate whenever." Before I could respond, I heard laughter from inside her apartment. Female voices. I recognized them. Her friends Brittany and Zoe. They'd never liked me. Always made these little comments about how Cassidy was too good for a guy like me, how she should be dating someone with ambition. Brittany appeared behind Cassidy, drink in hand. "Oh, he actually showed up? Cass, I thought you said you were handling this." "Handling what?" I asked. Cassidy sighed like I was being difficult. "Look, I didn't want to do this tonight, but I think we should take a break." "A break? On our anniversary?" "See, this is exactly what I mean. You're so clingy. I need space to figure out what I want." Zoe chimed in from the couch. "Honestly, Cass has been unhappy for months. She's just been too nice to say it." I felt my face get hot. "If you've been unhappy, why didn't you tell me? Why did you let me think everything was fine?" Cassidy crossed her arms. "Because you're sensitive. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. So you're hurting them now instead? The night of our anniversary." Brittany laughed, actually laughed. "Dude, take a hint. She's outgrown you. It happens." I looked at Cassidy, waiting for her to defend me, to tell her friends to shut up. She didn't. She just stood there, chewing her bottom lip, avoiding my eyes. "So that's it," I said. "For years and you're just done?" "I think it's for the best," she said quietly. "You deserve someone who appreciates you. And you don't." She didn't answer. I left the flowers on her doorstep and walked back to my car. As I was pulling away, I heard them inside laughing again. Brittany's voice carried through the open window. "Oh my God, did you see his face? He looked like a kicked puppy." More laughter. I drove around for 2 hours before going home. Didn't cancel the reservation. Just let it go to waste. Update 1. For the next week, I was a mess. Called in sick to work twice. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't eat. I kept replaying that night in my head, trying to figure out what I'd done wrong. I texted Cassidy a few times, asking if we could talk. She left me on read every time. Then, 8 days after the breakup, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. "Hey, it's Lauren. Cassidy's friend. We need to talk. Can you meet me at Greystone Coffee tomorrow at 2? Lauren. I'd met her once or twice at parties. She was quieter than Cassidy's other friends, seemed decent enough. I didn't know why she'd want to meet me, but at that point, I was desperate for any information. I showed up 15 minutes early, ordered a black coffee I didn't drink, and sat in the back corner. Lauren arrived right on time, looking nervous. She kept glancing at the door like she was worried someone would see her. "Thanks for coming," she said, sliding into the seat across from me. "What's this about?" She pulled out her phone, hesitated, then turned it toward me. I need to show you something, but you have to promise not to tell Cassidy I was the one who told you. Told me what? She opened Instagram and showed me Cassidy's story from the night of our anniversary. There was a video. In it, Cassidy was at some club downtown, dancing with a guy I'd never seen before. Tall, good-looking, wearing a designer jacket. His hands were on her waist. She was laughing, kissing his neck. The timestamp said 10:47 p.m., less than 4 hours after she'd dumped me. Who was that? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. His name is Cameron. He owns a few restaurants downtown. Cassidy's been seeing him for about 2 months. 2 months. While we were still together. While I was paying her rent. Why are you showing me this? I asked. Lauren looked genuinely uncomfortable. Because it's not right. Cassidy's my friend, but what she's doing is messed up. She's been lying to you, using you for money while she was already dating this guy. And now she's telling everyone that you were a boring boyfriend, and she had to upgrade. She said that. Her exact words at brunch last Sunday. Brittany and Zoe were laughing about it. About how you probably cried when she dumped you. About how you were so easy to manipulate. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Lauren reached across the table. I'm really sorry. You deserved better than this. I thanked her and left. Sat in my car for 20 minutes, just staring at the steering wheel. Then I scrolled through Cassidy's social media. Her Instagram was private now, but I checked her tagged photos. Found Cameron's account. Public. Loaded with pictures. There were photos of them together going back 7 weeks. Fancy dinners. Weekend trips. Him buying her jewelry. In one photo from 3 weeks ago, she was wearing a necklace I'd never seen. Caption read, "When he spoils you just because red heart." I'd been paying her phone bill that same week. Update 2. I spent the next few days doing what any self-respecting person would do. Absolutely nothing productive. I called out of work again, ordered too much takeout, and went down a rabbit hole of social media stalking. Cameron's Instagram was a goldmine. The guy documented everything. 34, owned 3 restaurants in the city, drove a Tesla. What really got me was a post from about 6 weeks ago. It was a photo of him and Cassidy at some rooftop bar. The caption, "Sometimes you meet someone who makes you remember what you've been missing. Hashtag new chapter, hashtag upgrade complete." Upgrade complete. Like I was a software version that needed replacing. Then something shifted. I was looking through my bank statements, something I should have done months ago, and I started adding up what I'd spent on Cassidy over the past year. Rent assistance, car payment, insurance, dinners, gifts, that trip to Miami she'd wanted for her birthday. It came to just over $37,000. $37,000. I sat there staring at my laptop screen, feeling this cold clarity wash over me. I'd been played. Completely, thoroughly played. And she was out there laughing about it with her friends and her new boyfriend. That's when I decided I wasn't going to be the sad ex-boyfriend anymore. I reached out to a lawyer friend from college. Asked him hypothetically what would happen if someone gave expensive gifts during a relationship and then wanted them back after a breakup. He said it was complicated, but he gave me the name of a lawyer who specialized in this kind of thing. The lawyer, Patricia, was in her 50s and had definitely seen everything. I laid out the whole situation for her. She listened, taking notes, occasionally raising an eyebrow. "So let me get this straight," she said when I finished. "You have proof of purchase for approximately $37,000 worth of gifts and financial support. You have documentation that she was cheating during the relationship. And you want to what exactly?" "I want my money back." She leaned back in her chair. "That's not really how relationships work, legally speaking. You can't sue someone for breaking your heart. But the car, I'm still making payments on it. It's in my name. Can I at least take that back?" Her expression changed. "The car's in your name?" "Yeah." She had bad credit, so I financed it. "It's registered to me." Patricia smiled. "Now that's something we can work with." Update 3. The repo happened on a Thursday morning. I'd coordinated with the finance company and a towing service. Completely legal since the car was in my name and I was the one making payments. According to the tow truck driver, Cassidy came out of her apartment at 8:47 a.m. to find an empty parking spot where her car used to be. He said she actually screamed and then started frantically calling someone. My phone blew up 20 minutes later. 7 missed calls from Cassidy. Then the text started. "Where's my car? What did you do? This is illegal, you psycho. I'm calling the police." I waited an hour before responding. "It's not your car. It's mine. I bought it. I'm paying for it, and it's registered in my name." You're welcome for the free use of it for the past year, though. She called me immediately. I answered. You can't just take my car, she screamed. I need it for work. Then maybe you shouldn't have cheated on the person who was buying it for you. That's not. We were broken up when Lauren showed me the Instagram story. Cassidy, you were with Cameron the same night you dumped me. And according to his posts, you'd been seeing him for 2 months before that. Silence. You used me, I continued. For money, for gifts, for everything. While you were already with someone else. Did Cameron know about me? More silence. That's what I thought. Well, now you can ask him to buy you a car. Good luck. I hung up. She tried calling back 14 more times. I blocked her number. The texts came from Brittany next. You're being so petty. It's just a car. Cassidy's crying, and she can't get to work now. You're ruining her life over a breakup? Grow up. I responded. I'm ruining her life? Tell your friend to ask Cameron for a ride. Or maybe she can explain to him why her ex-boyfriend was paying for her car while she was dating him. Brittany didn't respond to that. Final update. 3 days after I took the car back, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Cameron. Hey man, I think we should talk. This is getting out of hand. I was honestly curious, so I agreed to meet him at a Starbucks near my place. Cameron showed up in his Tesla, dressed in expensive casual wear. He was exactly what I expected. Confident, good-looking, the kind of guy who'd never had to work hard for anything. Look, he started. I didn't know about you until recently. Cassidy told me she was single when we met. She wasn't. Yeah, I figured that out after you took the car. He ran a hand through his hair. I just wanted to apologize, man to man. I wouldn't have gotten involved if I'd known. I studied him. He seemed genuine. Did she tell you I was paying for everything? Her rent, her car, her phone. His expression changed. What? While you two were going to fancy restaurants and taking weekend trips, I was covering her basic expenses. I showed him some of the bank transactions. His face went pale. She told me she was financially independent. She works part-time retail. She wasn't saving anything because I was her savings account. Cameron sat back, looking genuinely disturbed. I had no idea. We sat in awkward silence. Then Cameron said something that surprised me. She's been asking me for money. Started about a week ago. Said she had unexpected bills. Let me guess, car-related bills. Yeah, actually. And rent. She said her roommate bailed, and she needs help covering it. She doesn't have a roommate. She lives alone. And I was covering half her rent. Cameron's jaw tightened. He pulled out his phone and showed me his Venmo history. He'd sent Cassidy $1,200 over the past 10 days. I'm such an idiot, he said quietly. Join the club. I paid dues for 4 years. He looked at me with something like respect. What are you going to do now? Honestly, I'm done. I got my car back, I blocked her number, and I'm moving on. But you might want to ask yourself if you want to be with someone who lies this easily. Cameron nodded slowly. Yeah, I think we're done. He stood up, then hesitated. For what it's worth, she's been calling you crazy. Telling everyone you're stalking her and won't leave her alone. Of course she is. Just thought you should know. He extended his hand. I really am sorry, man. I shook it. Not your fault. You didn't know. It's been almost 6 weeks since everything went down. I'm back at work full-time. Actually got a promotion last week that came with a decent raise. The car situation resolved itself. I sold it to a dealership and made back about 60% of what I'd put into it. Through mutual friends, I heard Cameron broke up with Cassidy 2 days after our coffee meeting. He confronted her about the money and the lies, and she tried to spin it that I was a controlling ex. He didn't buy it. Cassidy tried reaching out to me one more time about 3 weeks ago, using Lauren's phone. The message said she wanted to talk like adults and clear the air. I didn't respond. Lauren told me Cassidy's been struggling. Lost her job at the boutique because she missed too many shifts without reliable transportation. Moved back in with her parents. Brittany and Zoe apparently distanced themselves after everything became public. I don't feel good about any of that. I'm not vindictive enough to enjoy watching someone spiral. But I also don't feel bad. She made her choices. About 2 weeks ago, I matched with someone on a dating app. Her name's Rachel. She's a teacher, and we've been on 3 dates so far. Nothing serious yet, but she's genuine in a way I forgot people could be. She insists on splitting checks. She shows up when she says she will. It's refreshing. I'm not going to pretend I'm completely over everything. For years doesn't just evaporate. But I'm getting there. And I learned something valuable. Someone who actually cares about you won't make you feel like an ATM with feelings. Won't laugh with their friends about how easy you are to manipulate. Won't trade you in the second someone with a bigger bank account shows interest. I deserved better than Cassidy. And honestly, she deserved exactly what she got. Edit 1. A few people have asked if I ever got any of the other money back. Short answer, no. Gifts are gifts, legally speaking. The car was the only thing I could reclaim because it was technically still mine. Edit 2. Yes, I know $37,000 is an insane amount to spend on a girlfriend. Trust me, I know. Looking back, I can see exactly how it happened, small things that added up over time, and me being too blind to notice I was being used.